Let's quickly go through a review about lesson 4. There are 3 important grammar knowledge in lesson 4. So the first one is plural suffix men. So we use this suffix to make a plural form of a pronoun or a noun. So these are the examples we learned in last lesson. For example, the singular form of you in Chinese is 你, right? So we can attach this suffix men to 你 to form a new pronoun, which is 你们. And this 你们 compared to 你 is a plural form of you. Okay? And similarly, like 我, which means I or me in Chinese. So we can attach this suffix men to 我 to form a new pronoun 我们, which means we or us. And also this suffix can be also attached to a noun. For example, 老师 like teacher. So this is a singular form of 老师, and also maybe the name for the teachers, like this kind of profession of 老师. And 老师们 compared to 老师 means like teachers. Okay, so this is a plural form of 老师. Okay, so this is the grammar knowledge 1 in lesson 4, so don't forget it. And also we learned a kind of question form in Chinese, which is yes or no question. And this kind of question is formed with a particle 嘛 by the end of a sentence. For example, 他是留学生, so which means he is an international student. So this is a kind of statement, right? This is not a question. And we can attach 嘛 at the end of this sentence, at the end of this statement, to form a yes or no question. And in reading, we use an upcoming tone, this kind of intonation by the end of the sentence, to form a yes or no question, which is 他是留学生吗? So the intonation of the sentence changed a little bit, right? So the statement, for statement, it is like a down, it's a down coming intonation of the sentence. And when we read a yes or no question, so the intonation changed into a upcoming intonation. So 他是留学生吗? Okay, so these are yes or no question. And also we have another grammar knowledge we haven't go through yet in lesson 4. So this grammar knowledge is about the word order of Chinese, which is also very important. So we can first we can like read some examples. So let's read together these sentences. Okay, so the first one, 我学习法语. And what's the meaning of the sentence? Right. So 我学习法语 means I study French. Okay, I study French. And the next one, 他是中国人, which means he is Chinese. Okay, the last sentence, 他们说汉语. They speak Chinese, right? So by far, I believe that all of you understand these simple sentences. And when we want to add some modifying part of the word, the verb, for example, 学习. So in the first sentence, the verb is 学习, study, right? And in the second sentence, the verb is 是, like the be verb, okay? And the last one, 他们说汉语, so the verb is 说, to speak, to say, right? So sometimes we have a modifying part for these verbs. So where should place the modifying part is important. So usually we place before the verb. So that's a typical and common word order in Chinese language, right? So for example, how to say I don't study French. I don't study French. So the modifying part of this verb is don't, not, right? So it's kind of a negative form of the verb. So we say 我不学习法语. So we place this modifying part before the verb. 我不学习法语. 我不学习法语. And next one, we want to make a new sentence like he is also Chinese. He is also Chinese. So we have a modifying part, right? So in Chinese, we put this modifying part before the verb. So we say 他也是中国人. 他也是中国人. So this 也 is the adverb, right? So we place before the verb the be verb 是. Okay. And the last one. So we want to make a new sentence with a modifying part. So they speak Chinese. Now we say they speak Chinese together. They speak Chinese together. So we have a modifying part together. Okay. So in Chinese, we place this modifying part together before the verb. So in Chinese, we say 他们一起说汉语. Okay. 他们一起说汉语. So here, like, by checking the three examples, we know that the modifying part, so here are the adverb, right? In grammar, we say these are the adverb. So adverb as a modifying part of the verb is usually placed before the verb. So this is very typical Chinese word order, okay? So when we want to make some more complicated sentences, usually we will use adverb as a modifying part of the verb. And in Chinese, according to the rules of Chinese word order, so usually we place this modifying part before the verb. Okay, so this is the last grammar knowledge of lesson 4. And now we are going to begin lesson 5. Okay, lesson 5. So lesson 5, first, we will go through the phonetics exercise of lesson 5. Now please open the textbook and turn to page 39. Okay, lesson 5. The title is 你家有几口人? How many people are there in your family? Okay, so the part 1 is phonetics. Okay, and phonetics are very important. So in each lesson, you need to practice times and times again. Okay, and also from lesson 1 to lesson 3, we have finished all the Pinyin knowledge. And don't forget to make a review by yourself. Okay. And here in lesson 5, first let's do the phonetics exercises. Okay, now listen to the recording and try to repeat. So for the first one, it's a like comparison between these groups of initials. The first one is Z and Zh, right? And second one, C and Ch. The third group, S and Sh. And the last group, L and R, right? And don't forget the difference between each groups, okay? So for Z and Ch, so Z, C, S, so we use the tip of the tongue to against the front part of the mouth, right? And make a, and this is we call the, like the Z, C, S group, okay? And the Zh, Ch, Sh group, we say we use the tip of the tongue to against the back part of the mouth, okay? And this is the difference between these one. And zhi, chi, shi, right? Zhi, chi, shi. When we make this pronunciation, we also have a curl of the tongue. Okay. Now, please listen to the recording and try to repeat and make exercises with these recordings.
第5课，你家有几口人？第1部分。学习语音，语音练习。
1. 听读下面的音节 z、之。赞助，作者，宗旨，著作，吃，吃。财产，辞呈，差错，炒菜，丝，诗， 宿舍40山色收缩了日日历人类冷热例如
Okay, so this is the first group. And don't forget about the difference between 自吃思 and 知吃诗. Okay, so 自吃思, and we use the tip of the tongue against the front part. As we said, this is kind of a supradental, right? So in phonetics, we say this is supradental initials. And 知吃诗, so we use the tip of the tongue against the back part of the mouth. So in phonetics, we say this is blade palatal initials. Okay. And next group is just the reading exercise. So read the words and the phrases aloud. Okay. And please listen to the recording and try to repeat with the recording. Let's begin.
2. 朗读下面的词语：老师、律师、职员、都是、留学生、大学生、几口人、我们班、你们家、做什么、多少个。
Okay. So as you listened, as you heard, okay, there are some kind of neutral syllable in these words and phrases, like 做什么、你们家. So the second syllable, right, is a like neutral tone, okay, and 多少个. So 多少个 in this phrase there are two neutral syllables, okay, and the last one is just about the exercise about neutral syllables, okay. So read the words with the neutral tone, okay, and please make a review about neutral tone. When we read a neutral tone, so it's without any tones. So neutral tone is pronounced as very short and light, right? A neutral tone is usually influenced by the syllable before it. So you can feel by yourself in these examples. So the second syllable is a neutral tone, and its actual tone is influenced by the syllable before it. Okay, now please listen to the recording and try to repeat.
3. 读下面带轻声的词语：你们、我们、爸爸、妈妈、哥哥、学生、多少、什么。
Okay, please read again with me, okay? Because a neutral tone could be a kind of challenging to some of us. Okay, so please read again of these examples. 你们、我们、爸爸、妈妈、哥哥、学生、多少、什么。Okay, so you can feel by yourself the second neutral tone syllable is influenced by the syllable before it. Okay, and also in lesson 5 we have phonetic notes, which is spelling rules. Actually, we have finished learning all the spelling rules in Chinese, in the Pinyin, in Chinese Pinyin. So please make a review by yourself of the previous lessons. Okay, so like non-initial plus I, U, U, right? And non-initials plus some other initials begin with E, U, and U, right? So these are just the spelling rules of Pinyin. So please make a review of the spelling rules knowledge in previous lessons by yourself. Okay, so we won't repeat again for the spelling rules, okay, in the following lessons.